I always forget one or two things. Like my
Yeah.
brain always eliminates things. I learn a lot every day. Like today I was learning a little. I was learning a lot of rails. So it's like I always learn a lot of things daily. It's like I don't. I'm a just-in-time reader. So it's like my mind doesn't allow myself to memorize a lot of things. So that's why I was never good at school.
What do you mean by just-in-time reader?
Just-in-time reader or just-in-time learning is basically where you learn things according to what needs to happen. Like for
Okay.
example, let's say I want to do an interview with Kim today. The first thing I'm gonna learn today is how to do an interview, how to speak fluently in an interview, maybe even how to speak English.
Just in time.
Yeah, yes, just in time. So that's
Yeah.
the same. So it's like you don't allow yourself to memorize too much things. Like in programming, there's a rabbit hole where you can learn a lot of things, learn a lot of Flutter, learn a lot of React, learn a lot of React Native, learn a lot of JavaScript, C Sharp, C++. You can do all that, which works, but I think it works for you getting a job. But what doesn't it doesn't work for you actually executing that job. So when it comes to executing the job, it's like you get in there and you'll say, okay, I'm blank. Okay, what does this project need? Okay, it needs me to learn AWS. It needs me to learn maybe some server side backend. Maybe it needs me to learn HyperDB. So I learn HyperDB that day. I will learn AWS that day, and I'll learn maybe some React that day. And when it comes to learning this stuff, I'm not learning what is React Native, and you'll be like, okay, React Native is this. No, I'm learning how do I use React Native because these are languages. So basically, you're like learning the syntax. You're learning how to speak those languages to a computer. So you
Yeah.
learn that just in time, and you learn what's needed. Okay, right now I want to build a card. How do I build a card for my application? You learn that. That's how it usually works for me.
So you don't like have a set time of learning every day. It's just like as you need to learn something new, you learn it.
Yes, I rather start building. I rather say hello world. That's the first thing I do. I do my hello worlds for whatever language. The next thing I do, okay, how do I build this? Maybe I do my paperwork. Like there's a bunch of papers. Look at this. These are a bunch of papers. Or these are papers that I'm just learning a lot of things from and writing a lot of things too. So it's like I just write down on paper, okay, I want this application to do this. Okay, let me write that down. I write that down.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm learning today. That's my schedule.
Yeah. Huh. That's cool. Yeah, it's like it's interesting because that's like so different to school, right? Like for example, university, you study for 3, 4 years, uh, and then yeah, you go get a job kind of thing. And so it's not. I mean, you do projects and stuff as you go along, but a lot of the stuff you forget. And then when you actually get a job, you learn a bunch of stuff on the job.
University is useless. University is useless. Like I actually prefer Zimbabwe University is okay to some extent, depending on which university you're in. But like American University is just debt and learning a lot of different bad habits. Like let's be honest, like for software engineering in general, like I was at school for almost 3 years. I'm only left with a year, but I can honestly tell you that I'm smarter than most A students at school. Like,
Yeah.
there's no A student that can beat me in coding. There's no A student that can produce a better project that I can build. That's simply because I know that school doesn't really matter. They'll teach you the basics and they'll teach you in a rigid manner where it's like memorization. Like you don't
Yeah.
have time to learn the stuff. They'll give you a lot of assignments that you don't even have time to actually practice. Like it's really not. It's archaic, really, when it comes to like things like software engineering. Like I would prefer a person to be more self-taught in that space. Like when we are hiring at Fresh Ideas, we don't hire based off do you have a degree? No, never. We rather hire you based off show us what you have done. Okay, you haven't done anything, so that's cool. Okay, do this. We'll give you a week to do this. You can do that in a weekend. You show your creativity, you show us your intuitiveness, you show us how quick you can learn. Then we work with you. We even sometimes we don't even ask your language. Like, what language have you learned? Like, are you good at Vue.js? No. Why? Doesn't matter. What matters is execution. Sometimes what matters is how quick can you build something, and how smart and how creative can you be with it.